Hey guys, as promised, I am back here this weekend with my second recipe, and this time it is a cake. So I have shared a lot of my favorite cakes with you already, and this one is special, my summer favorite. And it's just so easy. You cannot really go wrong with this. So let's get baking. Let's not waste more time. And I'm going to start with a stand mixer. You can use a hand whisk if you want. If you don't have any electric whisk, you can just use a wooden spoon and just lots of elbow grease, but you can still make this. So I am making, I've got here round 8-inch round cake tins, and I've got 4 of these. And I'm going to grease and line that, but before that I'm going to prepare the mixture. So I have got here 200 grams of caster sugar that goes in. You can use golden caster sugar, plain caster sugar, and also goes in 200 grams of self-raising flour. I love this cake because it's just all in one, easy peasy. Also 200 grams of really nice softened butter, and then going to add in 4 large eggs. I really do prefer using all-in-one method. Obviously every cake is different, but most of my cakes just use all-in-one method. Just because I've tried just the sugar and the butter creaming method, and I've tried this, and to be extremely honest, if I served you both the cakes, you won't be able to tell the difference because like I said, depends on the cake as well, but generally for a basic sponge it kind of makes a difference. So why not put in all together and get it over and done with? All right, a teaspoon of vanilla extract goes in, and also a teaspoon of baking powder. And if you haven't got self-raising flour, because some of you watch from countries like in India, it's not really easily available. So if you haven't got self-raising flour, you can use plain flour, and every 100 grams you can add a teaspoon of baking powder, and that's your self-raising flour. Self-raising flour is mainly plain flour with raising agent mixed in, which is baking powder mixed in. And I'm going to just add the zest of 1 lemon, because it's a summery cake. This is going to be perfect little zing to the cake. And when you are using lemon or any fruit zest, make sure that it's unwaxed. So I've bought unwaxed lemon for this, and then I'm just going to whisk it for 2 minutes. Not 1 minute, but 2 minutes. And while that is mixing, I'm just going to grease this quickly, just some butter. I'm just going to put some baking powder or baking parchment. And just look, this is what I was talking about. Nice and creamy, lovely, gorgeous texture. Just look at how pillowy and fluffy this cake mix is. And then I'm going to divide this into really kind of, they will be quite thin layers because there are 4 layers from this cake. So they won't be very thick. Which is fine because that's what we want for this particular cake. So that goes in, and then just a quick spread. As you can see, look what I was saying, that there is not much mixture. So this will cook really quickly. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I will give it 12 to 15 minutes tops. And I think that should be plenty. This one's got a bit less. Just this one's got a bit too much. So I've got the oven preheating at 180 or 160 fan. And like I said, this will go in for anything between 12 to 15 minutes. Just have to keep an eye on it basically. Oh! Where are you going, mister? Now these are ready. I've taken them out and I'm just going to leave them aside to cool completely. So in this pan, I'm going to get 50 grams of caster sugar, just normal caster sugar. Also going to add 50 ml of water, 50 ml of almond liqueur or amaretto, or if you want to skip any liqueur, you can just make a syrup with sugar and water. Now I'm just going to bring it to a boil and that's it. As soon as it's bubbling and the sugar has melted, just take it off the heat. You can see the sugar has melted and that is all we need. This syrup is cooling. I'm just going to quickly prepare the cream for the filling. A tub of mascarpone cheese, that's 250 grams. If you can't find mascarpone cheese, you can just use some double cream instead. Just gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar to this. Just gonna mix it all in. $300 ml of double cream to this. Mix it in. Once I've mixed it, I'll use a whisk to blend it in, but first I will just mix it with a spatula. Just a little whisk. Just check the sweetness before. Yep, that's lovely. So I'm gonna add 1 more teaspoon of sugar to this. Now that is looking lovely. It's just got the right consistency to layer the cake now. So to this cream, I am going to add some really lovely ripe raspberries and then mix the cream. So that's around 150 grams of raspberries. Just fold it in so it'll kind of bleed a bit of color into the cream and also kind of break up the raspberries a little bit, which is what we are looking for. Okay, so I've got the cakes cooled down here. They're nice and lovely and thin cakes. Just going to get these out. Before I start with the cakes, I am just going to put a piece of cling film on this plate. Come on now. And you'll find out why in a minute. One more the other side. That's it. So on goes our first piece of cake. Just in the middle here. And just going to use a brush and just put the syrup on top. See, we've got quite a lot, so be generous because this is going to just make it moist. It's going to give it that almond flavor. if you've added the liqueur to it. Right, next up, just taking a portion of this lovely raspberry cream, goes on top here, spread it out. This cake is a little wonky, a bit higher on this side. Never mind. I'm going to repeat the same with all the cake layers. Now I've put the last layer. Now the key is to press it gently so all the layers kind of come together, and then I'm going to put the last bit of syrup. I've still got syrup left, but like I can't bathe it in the cakes in the syrup either, so I've given as much as I can to each layer. Oh my god, I don't know, I'll wait till tomorrow. So now goes this quite tightly. I'm pressing it in so that everything kind of gels and becomes like a one piece of blob, I guess. Just make sure you do it nice and tight. So now the key is that this thing, you can see that the cream is going to be squished and it will come out of the cake a little bit, and then it will go on the sides, and boy, it's going to be so good. But the key is to let it rest in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours. Now it's gone really dark. Right, it's 10:30 and I'm going to put this in the fridge till tomorrow afternoon when my friends are arriving, and then I can share this with them. So that's perfect amount of time. If you can put it in the fridge overnight, that's great. If you can't, 3 to 4 hours is good. So this is going to go as it is in the fridge, and I will show you what to do next.
Right, so
Yeah, not now where I was going to eat like when I want to
Ginger.
finish it. I know in my heart of hearts.
Joe sent me a saying,
Yeah.
we had a chop chop and she'd like to do a better water
Yeah.
scent. And I went back and said, it was like 200 copies.
That's sweet,
Water
but
scent said 8
like,
copies. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I know.
No way.
Sorry,
That's
when you go
that's
like,
like,
like Caroline got really good press for her and
probably
stuff, and
some
it's just
cookery
like,
and style
you're not going to get any
left
sugar
over
from
versions.
that.
Very hard.
It's still a bit,
I read
but at
some
the
of
same
that. When I read it, I
time,
thought,
ham and cookery,
It's nice, but it's
well, actually, no, it would be,
No
it would be
one
better if like
but I
a neat,
I
It's
can't
just
read
so
water
hard.
scent.
yeah,
Yeah,
a neat bit
comes
and
from
a kind of
like-
area and a
I
What do
know.
you think, like,
So we have just finished our lunch, and it's time to enjoy the cake. and the cake has been served. It is one of my favorite cakes to eat. When it's the summer, it's just so fresh and refreshing and light and summery and oh so delicious. A touch of lemon, the almond and raspberry. The cake is fluffy and moist, and this is a dreamy cake. If you want to take it for a picnic, it's perfect because it hasn't got any icing on top, so you can just keep it wrapped up in the cling film and just take it for a picnic and cut it right fresh there. Hope you will give this a go. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you very soon with another new recipe. Bye for now. So good.